Hi, everybody. My name is Jerry Wise, and I'm a life and relationship coach. I've been helping people for over 40 years, many years. I'm a marriage and family therapist, pastoral counselor, chemical dependency therapist, psychiatric therapist, um, pastor. I've worn many hats. And now I'm a life and relationship coach and have clients all over the world. And I'm excited to bring you this new program today. Um, Also, I use a Bowen Family Systems approach as well as some other theoretical approaches as well, but primarily a family systems approach to help people differentiate, to self-differentiate. And I consider that self-differentiation kind of an advanced form of recovery. Um, and so I've used that for many years. What I'd like you to do today, if you would, subscribe to my channel, use the button to subscribe to my channel. You also can click the bell, which then will notify you when new videos come out. And if you'd like to join the memberships here on YouTube, you can get exclusive content. And then we're going to be having merchandise, which we've already started that store. We're going to have merchandise that you can purchase for discounted rates. So those things will be coming. I work with adult children of alcoholics, adult children of narcissists, many adult issues, codependency, family issues, business problems, organizational problems, and executive coaching as well. I also have a couple of staff members that I've trained over the years, and they're excellent. They're also available. And in addition to that, we have a team also to help people with their starting their business, with their websites, with social media marketing, with YouTube production and YouTube ideas. And we really want your ideas to get out there. And there is a reason for that. I don't make any money off that part of the business in helping people get started with their own businesses online. I would like to see the world change, and I don't have that many years left. I hope I'm going to be here for a while, but I would like to leave the world in a better and different place. And I think these are some ways that I can do that. This program today is entitled How Not to Change as a Codependent. It's a little tongue-in-cheek, so I understand that, but tongue-in-cheek helped me when I was recovering in my codependency for many years. And in my codependent recovery, that sometimes I needed to laugh, or sometimes I needed to see the absurdity of the things that I had done, because my paradigm was so set that I couldn't see it. Also, I was also very over serious as a codependent, and so I thought today I wanted to tell you or share 22 ways in which you should to give you wisdom about how not to change as a codependent. I spend all my life trying to help people change. I'm going to share with you how not to change. Firstly, don't change the paradigm. Don't change your paradigm. Only make pseudo changes within the same box. Don't think outside the box. In other words, if we use the same box to discover a solution to a problem, then we're only going to shift around in the box. That's why we talk about thinking outside the box. You really do have to think outside the box, so we have to learn more to do that. But to not change, continue thinking the way you have always thought, and continue to not look outside for new information that will help transform your life. Number two, focus on content and not the process. Focus on the problems and not what's going on. What's afoot, as in what Sherlock Holmes, I think, the game is afoot, meaning it's happening, this game. And so what's afoot? Don't look at what's afoot, just focus on the problems. I think about having a toddler who, and I know those of you have children and young children, and I know you've done this before. They're over there by the TV and they're banging on a drum or banging on a pan or something like that, and it's irritating, and you'd like that problem to go away. And then you hear nothing, and you're going, what? I wonder what that's about. And then they're over there messing with the TV, which you have asked them not to touch the TV, not to, get near it, not change the channels. And so as soon as you see the drum, know they've been messing with the TV, then you, and also particularly when you hear them as they're quiet, I wonder what's afoot. I wonder what's going on. And I know you've done that with your kids. We want to do that with our relationships too. But if we're going to continue in our codependency, we don't want to see what's afoot. We want to just focus on the problem, on the content, not the process of what's happening. Always react out of anxiety, or continue to react out of anxiety. Don't respond, just react all the time to when you get reactive. If you continue to do that, then you will not change as a codependent. Remember, number 4, to feel, only don't think. So feel only. That's the main thing. Stay in your feelings. I'm definitely one who believes staying in feelings and learning about our feelings are very important. But that doesn't mean I want you to stay in your system's feelings or reactive feelings. That's where it's problematic. I believe feelings are very important. But stay in your feelings and be reactive to them. And don't think, just react. And it also ends up giving us that feel-think experience where we bring together feelings and thinking process and they just ping off of each other rather than separating them out. And more mature individuals will have feelings and they will have their thoughts. And the more those are separated out, the less enmeshed they are, the healthier they become. So as us codependents, our feelings and thinking is all baked into the cake batter. And unfortunately, years ago, I used to love to eat cake batter. Maybe I can share that with you as well. I love chocolate cake batter. And I don't know if I'm the only one who would do that, but that's one of the things I liked. And so the cake batter would have all those different ingredients, feelings, thinking, and they would just be all mixed in one bowl. And that's what we have as codependents. And if we want to not change, then keep that same mix. Fifthly, let your feelings and reactivity guide you. In other words, let that feel-think guide you. Let that reactivity guide you in what you do. Because if you do that, then we won't change. Sixthly, work to raise the anxiety of others. For example, using bad timing and expose issues in inappropriate ways. So be sure to raise the anxiety of other people because that will keep you very reactive, and then it will be this soup of a mess of emotional field. The emotional field will just be filled with anxiety, and nobody will be thinking, nobody will be calm, nobody will be differentiated or mature. So be sure to raise issues at the wrong time when there's the greatest amount of anxiety, or you can create the greatest amount of anxiety. Seventh, always choose others first. Never choose yourself. Keep choosing others first and do it with gusto. That way we won't change and we will not change our codependency. Always choose others. Eighth, stay unaware of your needs, feelings, and identity, or choices, or preference. Always keep that a blind spot for you. And continue to say, well, I don't know what my feelings are. I can't identify what I want or my needs. Oftentimes it's not a can't, it's I'm not ready to identify those. And that an unwillingness to identify those. There's only one person who knows your needs, and that's you. So I can't go ask somebody else what my needs are. I will have to do the work of my own needs. But to stay codependent, be sure to stay ignorant of those things. Never look at those things. Never explore those things. And keep saying you can't, and keep saying, I just don't know. Remember, often when I don't know, it means I'm not ready to know yet, or I'm unwilling to know yet. Ninth, try very hard to get others to change so you can lower your anxiety and their anxiety. Always put the lowering of your anxiety on other people and try to get them to change, to perfect them, to fix them, to make them love you more. Always do that so you can lower your anxiety. If you keep doing that, then we will not change as codependents. Always do what others expect of you to lower your anxiety. So always do what others want, so it will keep the peace. And so everybody's anxiety will go down. Always keep doing that, and then we won't change. And that will be important that we not. So we want to, again, use that as a way of lowering anxiety. 11, be assertive without taking into account the emotional field, and I've kind of talked about that, all the emotions that are the electric field that runs and connects everyone in your relationships, or how you are operating in this relationship system, or the underlying emotional process. For example, don't take into account we're at a family dinner and somebody says, well, I like this political candidate, and you say, well, I never have, and I don't know why, that I don't believe that. In fact, I have a number of clients who have gotten very frightened about their family has one political view or religious view, and they have others. They have other views. And that they will many times raise the family's anxiety while they're trying to be themselves. And I think that's where we need to manage and self-regulate our own calmness. And so we'll drop the bomb in the family, or we'll do it in public. We choose things that just raise the anxiety rather than staying calm and choosing the people we're going to be self with, or make I statements, or share my beliefs. And in fact, for her, I was going, well, why do you even then talk to your family about religion or politics? You're not going to change them. They're not going to change you. That's okay. They may get information from outside, somewhere else, that doesn't need to come from you. And that just because someone makes an opinion or says an opinion, even if it's an ignorant one, at a family situation, doesn't mean I need to correct that. It's not mine to correct. It may not be my view, but I don't need to correct it. That's them. 12, always look for the negative aspects of relationship problems or disturbances. And we always look to see how this problem causes these negative consequences, and stay focused on that, rather than having a more systems understanding of how does this problem, what is the positive aspects of this problem? How does it serve the relationship? And how does it keep everybody safer or less anxious? Or me more anxious and them less anxious? How does this problem function in our marriage, in our friendship, in our sibling or parent relationships, or children relationships? 13, be over empathetic and then be sure to swing over to rejection or judgmentalism. And so what we do is we become overly sympathetic, overly empathetic, and then after a while we'll swing back over here to being resentful, judgmental, or what was I saying? Or rejecting. And we'll be kind of rejecting. And then we'll swing back and forth. So always be over this and over that with a hyphen, over hyphen. 14, work to be different while not being responsible for self or a responsible I. In other words, you may also want to be responsible for everything. And you may try to work out being different, but you're blind to how you're contributing to the dysfunction of the relationship. I'm not saying you should be blamed. It's not a blaming. It's how we function. It's neutral. It's not a blaming situation. But if you want to not change as a codependent, then don't take any responsibility for how you function in the relationship, or take all the responsibility for how you function in the relationship. 15, only see people as normal or normal with a problem, and see only the good in people. Now, having come from a pastoral background, I was a pastor and a bishop for a number of years. And certainly I taught to love your neighbor as yourself, love other people. I believe that. But not everyone is a good person. Now, they may be created by God, those of you who have religious and spiritual faith. I understand that. But that doesn't change the fact that some people are really unwell, and some people are really broken, disordered, or maybe a cluster B, the narcissist, borderline, sociopathic. There are folks who have those type of problems, a lot more than we'd like to admit. But the best way to stay codependent is only see people as they're just normal, they just have a little problem. I know a daughter who had a very malignant narcissistic mom, and she would always see her as, well, she's just a normal person and she just does these bad things. No, she's not just a normal person who does these bad things. She is really unwell, really, really unwell. And that's the way I saw everyone also, as in practicing my codependency. 16, work hard to save everyone but you. Spend all of your time giving, and work hard. Try to save everyone, but don't save you. 17, always talk in codependent muddle. Never say what you mean, never say what you want, need, or desire in a calm way. Never do it that way. Always talk in codependent muddle. And I wish I had some more examples of codependent muddle. I've been listening to different folks and I'm trying to write down the codependent muddle that we hear, which is in which people don't really tell you what they want to do. Much like when you say, hey, is there something would you like to go out to eat? Yes. Where would you like to go? As we're the codependent asking them where they'd like to go. And they say, well, wherever you'd like to go. That's codependent muddle. Because what I could say is, well, I'm feeling like going to a Mexican restaurant. But I'm certainly open to going other places. But you asked me where I'd like to go. I'd like to go there. But I can go to other places and other restaurants with different food. But at least I'm clear. I'm not just muddling and doing that codependent muddle talking. 18, never inconvenience anyone. Never inconvenience anyone. Avoid that like the plague. You know, we always inconvenience people. We're always being inconvenienced. And I have people that ask me, let's say they'll need a session or they're having a problem, they'd like coaching. And let's say it's like, well, they got to meet with me at 8 p.m. in the evening. And say, is that inconvenient for you? You know what I tell them? Yeah. But so what? I can choose that. So you don't have to worry about my inconvenience. I'll worry about that. If I didn't want to give it that time to you, I wouldn't. Or people will say, well, won't that be an inconvenience if you do that? I'll go, yes. And that's okay. You know, that because I'm accepting that others can be inconvenienced and I can be inconvenienced. And that's perfectly normal and that's human. Rather than I want to make sure I never inconvenience anyone. And that's the codependent mindset. 19, always be responsible for the feelings of others, especially how they feel about you and especially how they feel about everything. Always be responsible for the feelings of others. If someone feels a certain way about you, you should be responsible for that. Of course, if we do that, you know the problems that happen when that happens. And in fact, now I'm only like, I don't know, it's always difficult. 99%, I am not 99% responsible for your feelings. There may be a few instances in which there could be a case, but I'm still not inside you. So I'm not responsible for your feelings. You're responsible for your feelings. But make sure you remain responsible for everyone's feelings. Make sure they feel good. Make sure they don't feel bad. Always work at that. And that will be exhausting, but it will keep you in place as a codependent. 20, take everyone seriously. Always be over serious. And be sure to take things personally. We always take everyone seriously. And there are lots of comments, people, experiences we should not be taking seriously. Even if they are negative towards us. Let's say you're in a narcissistic relationship, your narcissist calls you stupid. I hope you don't take that seriously. Because if you do, then you see them as a normal person with a problem, rather than a person who's disordered, not well, and very toxic and dangerous. But we'll look at them and go, well, that they think I'm stupid, that really hurts me. Why would something ludicrous hurt you? And in the videos I've used, they called you a Coca-Cola. Why would you take that seriously? Because you're not stupid. Probably you've been over-functioning for who knows how long. Stupid people don't over-function. 21. Be sure to absorb everyone's beliefs, feelings, thoughts, and anxiety so that you don't observe and seem cold and distant and mean. So be sure to absorb everybody and the whole family system and the whole emotional field. Be sure to just absorb it, because then you'll feel like you're one of everybody, even if it's an uncomfortable role to play. Be sure to absorb all of that, because if you observe rather than absorb, they will think you cold, distant, or mean. So be sure to absorb everything around you. 22. When dealing with difficult people, always stay in your feelings. Be sure to stay in your feeling system when you're dealing with difficult people. That will help us to continue to be codependent. And of course, the opposite is stay in your thinking system, not your feeling system, when dealing with difficult people. But if we want to stay codependent and how not to change, always stay in your feelings when you're dealing with difficult people. I hope you'll subscribe today to this channel. Click the bell, click join to become a YouTube member. And I hope you'll follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We also have monthly calls that we make for members on my website. So I have YouTube members and I have website members. I want to thank you for joining me today. Have a great day and be wise.